Hello, 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 and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Uncovering Greatness podcast. As always, I am your host, Sully. The Uncovering Greatness podcast is, our weekly podcast that I host with either Barry Mitchell or Nicole Mitchell, where we talk about anything from business, sales, mindsets, what's happening in the world, what's happening in our world, and just stuff.
Just stuff.
Just stuff. And we hope that the stuff that we speak about, you guys find value in, because that's why we do it. We do it to teach and we do it to help you guys. I think that's very, very important.
Mhm.
What Nicole does is Nicole helps you find for hello no, 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 no. Nicole helps you find out what you want, and she helps you get it.
Yes.
Nicole, how you doing?
I'm very good. Thank you, Sully. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So forgive me on this one.
Yes.
It's one of those where it's like, you should have known that, but I did not.
Okay.
Today, what I would love to talk about is motivation versus momentum. And why I say the first bit that I said, for some reason, I didn't know that motivation was a feeling or an emotion.
Um, I I don't know. I, s- I don't I don't know if I would say it was a feeling, or an emotion. Um, what does the dictionary say?
The dictionary says, let's get it.
Pop, pop, pop.
Who will get it first?
If you spell it right, it helps. Yeah.
No, and it's an interesting word. So I can't remember where I stumbled across it. I think I was writing copy for something, and I was like, ah, motivation. Now, the need or reason for doing something, what causes a person to act in a certain way. Enthusiasm for doing something, the general desire or willingness of someone to do something. The act or promise or process of motivating, a motivating force, stimulus or influence, an incentive or drive.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say it's an emotion
Ooh,
because you listed a few different emotions in there.
yes.
So I don't think motivation is, I wouldn't say it's a mood. I mean, it says the state of being motivated, having a desire or willingness to act. Um, so yeah, I don't think I'd say that it's a,
So what are we gonna call it if it's not an emotion? It's a state.
yeah, I guess I would say it would be a state that people are in.
Okay. So why I wanted to speak specifically about motivation versus momentum, because I feel like that's my personal example, right? Is UGE.
Yes.
So when we do UGE for 5 days, I feel the first day in terms of doing exercise, I feel motivated to do it, and I'm motivated. I'm going to do it.
Really? You feel motivated to exercise on day one? I think you do it because you're told to do it. There's no motivation.
No, no, I motivate myself to do it. If you notice, the last time I ran to go get changed, that was my motivation. I needed to I didn't get myself psyched up to go
So,
do it.
so your running motivated you.
Yes, I think if I didn't run, I wasn't going to do the exercise.
Okay.
But I realized that after the 5 days, so now when we get to like day 6, you're going home, you're doing your own thing. I have more momentum
Okay.
because I've been doing it for 5 days consistently. And then I get to day 6, and that's where the top part kicks in because now I'm by myself.
Yes.
I'm not with you guys. I'm not with the group. I'm all by myself. And it's like,
So my question to you is, what motivated you to run?
oh, great question. So, what motivated me to run is, unfortunately, because I am a smoker, it takes a while for my chest to adjust.
Yeah. So what motivated you to do the exercise in the beginning on day one? Because you didn't have to run. You didn't have to do the exercise. You didn't have to be part of things. You could have gone off and stood in the corner and smoked. So, what motivated you on day one of our 5 day program, the Ultimate Greatness Experience? What motivated you to do the exercise?
I don't want to be that guy. I wasn't.
Oh, so you've been that guy and you didn't want to be that guy again. So what actually motivated you to do the exercise is to not be ridiculed like you were in previous 5-day programs. Is that a fair statement?
How did we get you? This is
You brought this topic up, not me.
Yes, 100%. I was motivated to not be ridiculed.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So what motivated you was to not be ridiculed.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you want to know the difference between motivated
And momentum.
and momentum.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now you've started doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that ridicule still driving you? That fear of being ridiculed or not wanting to be ridiculed?
No.
Really?
Not in terms of that I kept the 5-day. I'd probably say more so like in terms of my weight. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So because you now have got a little bit of movement and it's not so difficult to go to the gym because it's not so sore because you've been moving for 5 days.
Yes.
You can keep moving.
Yeah.
And your fear of being ridiculed is still there. It's in a different way, though. It's like, I don't want to be ridiculed for my being unfit or,
Yeah.
in terms of, because I do know that, this team is pretty good at driving people,
Oh yeah.
through, laughter and joking
Yeah.
and teasing and but in a playful way, not in a negative way.
Yeah. Not in a put down way.
Not in a put down way,
Yeah.
but it is a very kind of playful, that sort of thing. So there is that fear of being ridiculed but now you have some momentum because it's not as difficult for you to go because you got some ideas and there's less unknowns.
Yeah. True.
So you kind of know, okay, I can go and I can do this because you've had 5 days of personal coaching, move here, do this, do that. So now you can go to the gym and you've got an idea of, I can move for 30 minutes and I might be a little bit sore, but so now you've got the momentum and you've also got a reason because it's important to understand that the why is always greater than the doing. What is your reason for doing your exercise?
Okay. So the why is more important than the doing.
Yes, because if I know your why is it that you want to exercise? Okay, on the 5-day, you started exercising because you didn't want to be that guy that was made fun of and ridiculed for being the only one on the team that didn't exercise.
Yes.
That was your motivation in the beginning.
Got you.
Okay.
Yes.
But if we are genuinely honest, your why goes back to a certain December.
Oh, fair. Done.
Where your health wasn't great and you spent time in the hospital and the doctor said you need to sort your life out.
Yeah. In short, yes.
In short, not going into too much detail, but the why is I don't want to go back there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very true.
Now, I don't need to bring that up to motivate you. I could, but that in itself, if I bring up that upset or that shock of being told your life is on the line, you need to sort your health out.
Yeah.
If you were genuinely wanted my help, in terms of, I've had this upset, now I want to get fit and healthy.
Yeah.
Will you help me? Then I can use that as motivation. Sully, we don't want you to end up in the hospital.
Got you.
Sully, we don't want you to end up in the hospital. That's your motivation. Okay, that's the why. The why is I want to be healthy.
Yes.
Because I don't want to go back there.
Yes.
But now, as you start moving and you start shifting, it becomes easier to move. So now you can start to set other goals in terms of, well, maybe I could run 5Ks.
Yeah.
Right. Well, let me see if I can do that.
Mm.
And so you start moving and now you're working towards something. You're not working away from something.
Mm. No, I just had the thought because I was like,
Yes.
what was it?
So
Day 2, when you guys were like, oh, we're going to go for a run in the morning. And I was like, yeah, I think I'll come on the run. I had no clue how far we were going to run. I had no clue what was going to happen. But I was probably for the first time ever at a UGE, I was like, yeah, I'll come run with you
we'll
guys.
run in the morning.
We'll run in
First
the
thing,
morning,
at 5
first thing,
o'clock
5
before
o'clock.
the program
Sun's
starts.
out, not even out.
It's pitch black. You have to use your cell phone to see where you're standing.
And
Yes.
and yes, we're gonna still work until 11 o'clock tonight. But yeah, let's go for a run. Why not? And without any hesitation, I'm saying all of this because that's the way you just explained that. I literally just went, oh damn, that was my why, right? My why was way more about my health and staying healthy somehow
Correct.
than it was, well, I just want to be a part of the team and run with you guys, or
Because that's a nice to have.
yeah.
It's not a defined why. And the problem in society today is people are not finding their reason for doing something. Why do you want to make money? Because I need to be financially free. That's my favorite one. I need to be
I love that one as well.
And it's like, what does that mean?
Mm.
Well, that means I have lots of money. No, it doesn't mean that. It means, like, if someone were to ask me, why do you want to have money?
Yes.
Well, I can tell you because I have a daughter that lives in England and I want to be able to go and visit her whenever I want, not whenever I've saved up enough money or bankrupted my credit card. I want to be able to go and see her.
Got a why.
I've got a why.
Yeah.
I've got a reason.
Yeah.
Now it's so much easier when I go shopping and I'm thinking, should I buy this coffee? You know, it's only $40.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it is $40, and that's $40 I can put towards
Yeah, because you're doing it
investing in an asset that's going to pay me, that's going to give me financial freedom so that I can go to the England and visit my daughter.
Yes.
Okay, I would rather spend the 40 Rand in an investment.
Yeah.
Or I'd rather spend the 40 Rand on whatever it is that's going to help me get to my why, which is going to England.
Mm.
Too many people don't set themselves enough whys. They're not willing to look at what is my reason for wanting this. They just go, oh, Mary's doing it, so maybe I should do it.
That's my why. Yeah, my why is somebody else.
And then when Mary stops, you stop.
Mm.
And it doesn't always happen like that, but more often than not, it does.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you are clear on your why, because I'm very much clear on, I CrossFit every week. Why do I do that? Well, because when I travel, I want to be able to pick up suitcases. When I set up events, I want to be fit and healthy. I also have role models in that my mom is 80 and she's running 4Ks at 6.5 minutes a K.
Woo!
At 80.
What?
And I'm like, shit, I can't even.
If I ran a K in 6 minutes, that's it. I'm done with that. That's it. I'm finished. No more running.
And I'm like, do I want to be like my mom at 80 that can walk and run and is fit and healthy and takes her dogs for walks? Or do I want to be like other people I know?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to be like my mom. I want to be able to play with grandchildren. I want to be able to exercise my dog. I want to be able to pull suitcases around. I want my independence. Well, that's why I CrossFit. Because my why is not, yes, it's nice to be able to move stuff today and events, but my why is actually family oriented. I want to be able to move when I'm 80. I want freedom. I want my physical freedom when I'm 80.
And your why is not necessarily tied to your mother. It's more so that your mother's a role model within the why.
Correct.
And I think that's flipping fascinating. Sure.
And then it creates competition because I mean, I was running at 9 minutes a kilometer. Walk, run, walk, run. I don't. And now suddenly, when I'm hearing what she's doing, I'm going, shit.
Gotta keep up yet. She's
I just,
easy.
like, I'm not running that fast. Well, I better.
Yeah. I better get it together.
So the last week, all my times I'm running at 7 minutes a K, not 9 minutes a K. Why? Because I got motivation to get better. Okay. I was already running.
Yes.
I already had the momentum.
Mm.
Okay. But I got motivation to do it better.
Mm. And that motivation created momentum for you.
So it's created, well, I already had the momentum because I was running anyway.
Oh, man.
I was already doing it. I run 3 times a week. I take my dog for a run and I'm running, between 8 and 9 minutes a K. So what?
Yeah. You were just
Because I was bumbling along and
doing
I'm
what you need
just
to do to stay healthy.
keeping fit
Yeah.
to stay healthy and walk my dog so that she behaves and, and then suddenly I got motivation to get better.
So that's interesting, right? Because we were talking about in our last episode, you guys should check it out. It is available. We're talking about social media and how it tricks our brains into thinking that we want the success that we want. That's a big difference, right? Because you had the role model, somebody to look at, and not you didn't say I want to have what my mom has. You said, "Ooh, I would like to get to the level where I'm running 6 minutes."
Well, she's 80.
And she's yeah.
She's 80 and she's running 6.5 minutes a K. I'm like, what the flippin' heck is wrong with me?
No, I'm even questioning what's wrong with me.
And I'm going, okay, right. I need to push myself.
Yeah.
So it created motivation. And it's not because I want to be like her.
Yes.
She's 80 and she can do it. I should be able to do it.
Has she always done it? Sorry to interrupt. Has she always like ramen steak healthy?
So when Danielle was born,
Mm-hmm.
so Danielle is now 20
years ago.
My mum came out from wherever she was living at that point, I think from Canada. Not Canada, I mean from England. And she did a marathon with Barry. She ran a 21K the day before Danielle was born.
Whoa.
So every year in January, when the Johnson and Crane is on, I always remember the Johnson and Crane because my mum ran a marathon with Barry. And what happened that particular year is the lead car went the wrong way and they landed up running 24Ks instead of 21.
That's something that would happen to Mary.
And I'll always remember it because my mum ran a marathon the day before
you gave birth.
I gave birth to Danielle.
Why?
And so, and what actually happened is she was here for 6 weeks beforehand, help with the baby, do that sort of thing, be part of our family. And Barry was like, I'm training for a marathon. And she said, okay, great, I'll join you. And so she started running. And so she has always been fit and healthy.
Mm.
And so for me, it's like, that's something that I like strive to be like. And she's always eaten healthy and what have you. And I'm not going to say she's never been overweight, but she's never been excessively overweight, but she's always been fit and healthy. So for me, it's always been something, I've had that role model of this is what good health looks like.
Yeah.
So it is easier for me because I can see this is what good health looks like. So, and these are the patterns you need to do every day. But so yes, she has always exercised and walked, and she has a little Yorkie that she takes walking every single day, and she walks for however many kilometers every morning and every evening because that keeps her busy.
Yeah.
But she will do that, snow, rain, wind, tornadoes, I'm pretty sure, whatever, before she sits down and watches TV.
Mm.
She, a few years ago, because it's not exactly light in Scotland where she lives at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
It only, some days it only gets light at like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. So the one morning she was out walking her Yorkie and she tripped and fell over one of the speed bumps and she dislocated her elbow and her landed up. But and I'm just like, she was walking at 7 a.m. in the morning in the pitch black for 3 hours to walk the dog because there's not enough hours of daylight.
Yeah.
And there is no excuse for not going for a walk.
Nope.
And often I think of that story when I get home late, in the evening and it's, 5:30 and I'm tired and I'm like, I'll take the dog for a walk tomorrow. And then I think, no, my mother does that every single day, no matter what.
Yeah.
And I have been there when it is 3 degrees and you have to walk with something over your mouth and gloves on your hands and a thick jacket and a beanie and what have you, and the dog's in a jacket, but she will still walk the dog because the dog needs exercise because she lives in a flat. And what's my excuse?
Mm.
So it's like, can you use something like that to motivate you to keep going when things get tough? But it's also important that you have your own why that's going to drive you.
So something to, so you can use motivation as something to go back to. So in a sense, like, I did this, I've done this before, or somebody I look up to has been through X. Correct. So you can.
And motivation is only going to drive you so far. Momentum will keep you going, and there are times you need to use motivation.
Yes.
So, in terms of, we were doing our Ultimate Greatness Experience program, you used that as motivation to start exercising.
Yep.
We were going for a run. You used, I want to be part of the team, as motivation. Okay. But that is not the real reason why you started running or you chose to run with us. The real reason why you chose to run with us is because you don't want to go back to where you came from.
Yeah, it's and even in the days when I don't want to, so I've had to adopt this phrase that I use when I wake up in the morning, is just embrace the suck. Because it sucks. You wake up, you're having a great sleep, and you gotta go work out. It's like, just embrace the suck. But and it's so funny because I don't think of I feel like it's, yes, because it's buried in my subconscious. I never think about, no, I don't want to go back to being in the hospital again and being told, you nearly had a stroke. Like, you were I don't want to do that ever again.
But, subconsciously, that it's there. But now that I've brought it up, you're going, hell yes, that's exactly why I want to exercise.
Big time. Big.
That drives me.
Yeah.
And it's like, I look at Barry and I go, he goes through these stages of, he gets fit and then he gets fat and then he gets fit and then he gets fat. What's the number one thing that drives him? Well, he doesn't want to be ridiculed. He doesn't want to be ridiculed for being fat at stage.
Whoa.
So, and has that happened? Yes. So he'll go to the point where he drives and then he stops and then he's got to find some motivation to get him moving again. And he will look for something to drive him. So at the moment he's training for an Ironman. That is what drives him. Why? Because this past weekend when there was a bachelor's party and everyone was out drinking and he's training for an Ironman, or he's got a choice.
Yep.
I can go drinking with, the brother,
the boys,
all the family and all the boys and everything, or I can go and have fun with them, but come 11 o'clock, say, it's night, guys, I've got to be up at 4 o'clock Our tee-off time's 8 o'clock. I'm going to get up at 4 and train for 2 hours before we get on the golf course.
And that's not motivation.
No, he has to find something that's going to motivate him to do that, which is his why, which is is the goal, the Ironman?
Yes.
Or is it, I'm going to do an Ironman well? Or is it, I'm going to work towards X time for an Ironman?
Yes.
Or
Praise
is it,
on the why.
and he is very clear on his why because he needs his why to push him through the hard times.
Yeah. That makes so much sense.
And so you can have momentum, you can do things. So like for me, I know, in terms of my why is to be fit and healthy. And, I often look at some of my friends and some of the ladies groups that I hang around with, and most of them are on some form of chronic medication for something. And I'm like, I don't want to be there. I don't want to be on chronic medication. I want to have a clear mind. I want to be able to help people do what they want. And I have to have a clear mind to do that. Medication is going to stop me from having a clear mind. I don't want it to cloud any of my thoughts. So I need to be healthy to do that.
Ooh, you see, talking about medication. I just remembered I was told that you're gonna now be on high blood pressure pills for the rest of your life. That was like the first time in my life I've ever seen to a doctor. No. And he was like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I'm not doing that." And I'm not doing I'm not just saying I'm going to continue living my life the way that I'm living it that led me here and not take them. I'm saying I am going to work my face off to ensure that that doesn't happen. And when I then went back to him, I think after like 2-3 months, I went back to get another checkup. And he was like, "Whoa, like your vitals are great, but what happened?" And I was like, "I nearly died. That's what happened."
And I chose to be in control of my life, not to have medication
Control it 100%.
So I chose to stop eating shit and to stop eating X, Y, and Z. And I chose to start exercising so that my blood flow through my body improves.
100%.
I chose to keep processing so that I could deal with whatever shocks, upsets, disappointments have caused my blood pressure to get high.
True story.
So now I can go back to the doctor and say, no, medication's not going to control my life. Why? Because I'm controlling my life.
Yeah. That's a. Whew. I just wanted to read this because I thought that this was actually really. I love this quote by Dr. Sajiv Dev. He says, "Motivation fluctuates based on mood and environment. Momentum is the energy created by continued process. Once you get started, one gets you started, the other keeps you going."
And it's so funny. Yes, one will get you started and one will keep you going. But if you look, I was going already, like I was running.
Yes.
And then motivation allowed me to get better.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that actually.
Whereas in your case, you knew you needed motivation to get started. And the momentum kept you going.
Yeah, definitely.
And so it's just understanding that there are different times to use the two. They are both valuable.
Yes.
So momentum is, I'm doing it, I'm going to keep going. So I know, for example, when there's a change in our schedules. So for example, I CrossFit 5 days a week. Okay. So now winter comes along, Barry's traveling, Michaela's not there, and I'm at home on my own. And now I've got the momentum to keep going. But now the motivation disappears because there's nobody to go with me. It's cold, it's raining, it's miserable, I'm tired, I had a late night. And I go, you know what? Let me sleep in this morning. Okay, tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow comes, and for 3 or 4 days, I don't go to CrossFit. And I have a choice at that moment to decide which way am I going to go?
Yeah.
Which momentum am I going to choose? Am I going to choose the momentum of staying in bed, or am I going to choose the momentum of keeping going to CrossFit?
Wow. That's a different take on momentum now.
Because there's going to be momentum one way or the other. The momentum to stay in bed or the momentum to keep going. I have a choice.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie. There are many times I've chosen the wrong one. And for the next 2 weeks,
feeling it.
and guess what happens? Suddenly my jeans are a little bit tighter.
How this happened?
And I'm going, you know what? It's because it's winter and it's cold and I really don't feel like. And I will find things to justify it, but I will hate every minute of it because my jeans are tight and I'm uncomfortable and I don't like it and I have no energy. And then I have a choice.
Yeah.
I can use the momentum of feeling like crap to create a different momentum and go, you know what? I don't like the way I feel. I'm going to go back to CrossFit. And guess what? CrossFit's going to suck for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to get punished for the 2 weeks that you...
Oh, goodness. It is going to hurt like cowboy's hooves.
Yeah.
But you know what? That hurt is way better than the hurt of feeling uncomfortable, having no energy, having tight jeans, disliking everything about myself. And I use that momentum to create a different momentum, or I can use it as motivation to create momentum, whatever you want to call it.
However you
But it's just, there is, understand, one will give you a whole bunch of set of emotions and you can feel guilty and, oh, you know what, I feel so bad. I haven't been to CrossFit and my jeans are tight and I'm just going to stop on my way home and get another bag of potato chips and another packet of speckled eggs and, you know, life is so sad.
sucks.
Or I can go, this sucks. I hate everything about it. Tomorrow morning I'm going to CrossFit.
Yeah.
And suddenly the motivation of tight jeans is going to drive me to CrossFit, and then I'm going to use the momentum to keep me going. But there's, yeah.
You know, it's funny because I just thought about, you know, like when women get married, they do that thing of, you know, because they get the wedding dress. And now they want to fit into the wedding dress. And now you have the motivation of, I need to lose weight so I can fit into my wedding dress.
But for some people, that's not the right motivation because a lot of times that doesn't work.
Because you're just building back.
But also, how many people actually get to that size, whatever, 2 sizes smaller on the day of the wedding?
No, I don't think many, actually.
Because they went with the wrong motivation.
Wrong one.
And I'm not saying that doesn't work because for some people it does.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm saying is what is the motivation? Is it I want to look good in photographs? Is it I want to feel good on the day of my wedding? Is it, what is your genuine why?
Yeah.
Because if it's just I want to fit into a dress, you are correct. You will fit into the dress and then you will go back to whatever. You know, put on another 2 sizes, you'll balloon up straight away. But, you know, it's just understanding find your why that's going to drive you to get the momentum and the motivation.
So I think let's give the people an action plan of how they can do that. And I think you started off perfectly there. The why, right? First thing, why are you doing X?
Yeah. So if let's look at it from a business perspective.
Yeah.
You need to drive some revenue in your business.
Yes.
Okay. So you need to make phone calls and you need to start selling.
Yep.
Okay. So what is it that's going to drive you to make those calls? You need to find that out.
Why?
Because that why will be, I'm sick and tired of
Month to month living
in survival.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're sick and tired of living in survival, but what is it that you truly want? Okay, I want a bigger house. I want a better car. I want to pay for private school fees. I You need to get specific about your why.
Gotcha.
The more specific you can be. And for some people, it's as simple as, I don't want to look like a failure to my family. I want to look like a success. Okay, so a success looks like this. I have so much money in the bank.
Yeah.
I have, and it's, I think too many people today have looked at status as success. And that's where we would talk social media is that whole status, and just people drive these big fancy cars and don't have stuff in their home. What does success look like to you? And I'll share this with you. I mean, I had, a whole bunch of, I say teenagers, they're not teenagers anymore, young 20-year-olds in my home. And was sitting on the couch and we were watching a movie and we were laughing and joking. And we got takeaways, we got Nando's. And in my mind, I was like, this is not the ideal home. There's Nando's and we're all sitting around. And then I kind of went, no, this is the ideal home because it's fun and there's laughter and there's excitement and there's this feeling of connection and joy and everybody's relaxed and everybody's having fun.
Yeah.
I mean, these youngsters, basically one of them said it's so nice to feel so much love in a home.
Sure.
And in that moment, I realized this is what it was about. Is that we were all laughing and joking and having fun. We weren't stressed about, do you know how much Nando's is going to cost us? Do you know what, if you sit on the couch with your feet on the table, do you know what that's?
Yeah.
And so it's sometimes it's hard to define it.
Got you.
Like if it's something like I want to feel love, I want to feel connection, it's hard to define those things. But it's okay to have to actually want that.
Yeah.
And it's okay to not want a fancy car and a fancy house
Honestly, it's
because
more than okay.
it's about what is it that you truly want. I want to travel. Okay, cool. Well, where, when, how often, what countries do you want to go? Those kind of things. Who do you want to take with you when you travel? Because it's like, I have been up the Eiffel Tower on my own.
I didn't like that.
And it sucked. Because you want to go, hey, look at the, there's no one to share the view with. Or check that dude over there that's, looks like a, whatever, mustard seed looking with his black hat, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But if you don't have anyone to share it with, it also takes away the excitement. So who do you want to go with?
Yeah.
Those kind of things. So it is be specific and be as specific as you can.
How important is it to measure that? Like measure what your why, right? I mean, not your why, but like your journey to your why.
So write up all your little steps along the way, because those little steps are what's going to keep you going, because you can look back and go, wow, I've changed. If you're looking, let's say you want to travel and you're now going to a race and then now you suddenly start going to Paris, it's very different. It's a big jump. But if you're not looking at how many times you're traveling to Paris and going, this is where we went, this is what we did, this is what we planned, this is who I went with, when it comes time to go on a bigger journey, if you're not measuring what you did and the things that happened, it's going to be a lot harder to do the bigger things. Right. So like making the phone calls. Once you start making the calls, can you make more? How many? Like track. I made 5 calls last week. This week I made 10. Wow, that's such an improvement. This is so exciting. I may not feel any different, but look, my numbers have changed.
Yeah, I can actually see it.
I can see it. And
Yeah.
so when you start to track it, you can use that as motivation to keep you in the momentum.
And then lastly, your favorite wins, because those are so from five. For example, you use the example of phone calls, right? You went from 5 phone calls this week to now next week I'm making 10. That's a win.
Correct.
How important is it to, because I feel like people speak about, and I've been hearing it a lot online, right? People are speaking a lot about wins suddenly, and maybe it's because I'm present to it, or maybe
Your social media is pulling it.
people are stealing our content. Come up with your own ideas, okay? We speak about wins and those types of things, but it's but the way that I've been hearing about it is more like, yeah, you must celebrate your wins, and but I have not heard one person say write them down.
So,
Why is writing them down important?
well, writing him down is important. One, because you can go back and reflect and look at them. So when you're having a really shitty day and you're going, everybody says no and it sucked and what have you, you've got a reference point to go back to that's positive.
Yeah.
The other thing about when you write down your wins is you put it into the physical universe and other people can access your wins.
Ooh, yes.
So it makes people more aware of, what are you doing? And then the third thing is it's going to set you up to be emotionally a lot more stable
Okay.
because you're less likely to crash and burn. Why? Because you've acknowledged the things that you've done. So you're going to stabilize yourself when you acknowledge your wins. And celebrating wins is not about boasting and going and telling the whole world, look at me. Celebrating wins is writing down the things that you did that meant something to you.
Mhm.
And or sometimes it's somebody, a win is watching somebody else do something. So, in terms of if you got a child that plays hockey and suddenly they make a hockey team, or they get selected to play for a team, that's a win because you watch somebody else succeed. It may not be your specific win, but it's still a win for you because you were there, you were part of it, you watched it,
Yeah.
you got to see it, you got to celebrate with them. So it's important to acknowledge, what makes you feel great, what makes you, just be aware. And when you can acknowledge those wins, then you can use them, motivation, momentum, whatever you want later down the line.
Blueprint, guys.
Follow the system.
Follow the system. I think that was, yeah. I have nothing more to add. Any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
No, I think this was a really great topic because a lot of people don't know the difference and they don't know when and where to use them. So I'd encourage you use both all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's like I started thinking that I knew what it was, and I was wrong about that too. And I learned something new today, and I think that is awesome. Whenever you are learning, you are growing. If you're not, you're dying. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys found value, please comment. We appreciate the comments. We appreciate any feedback that you guys may have. But thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll see you guys next week on the Uncovering Greatness podcast. And as Nicole said, remember, use motivation and momentum together. They need each other. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.